Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors, and welcome to the Cohutta Wilderness. And it is cold. It is currently 37 degrees. It is 4 p.m. and it is dropping fast. So we're here to do a night of camping. It's going to get down to, I think, about 20 degrees tonight. We've got our LF Bros N2 Pro diesel heater that I just did, and here's a link to it, a full in-depth review of it. You know, it had a lot of positives. Had a couple negatives. It was drawing a lot of power on startup. So we'll see how it goes. I did bring out the Blue Eddy AC180, so we got plenty of power. It's gonna be super cold. Luckily, we have Starlink hooked up, and so we've got satellite. Georgia's playing tonight, so it should be pretty good. We're gonna be Georgia Tech again. The big draw of this particular video is doing a full-blown camp test and how it operates. Now, I will say, it's pretty difficult to get down where I'm at, and it's very bumpy. Not one single drop of diesel fuel came out of this tank. So their leak-proof cap worked extremely well. I got everything hooked up. Their hoses here, you know what? I had to put it up on the deck here. I did bring another hose just in case this wasn't long enough, but I do have an opening here in my rooftop tent from Roof Nest that's supposed to handle, that is built for this. So everything is set up. Going to watch a little college football. We got the fire roaring right now. I am guessing this thing is going to pound out the heat. All right, it is getting really cold. It's 29 degrees and dropping rapidly. Just fired this guy up. Still have some of the same concerns we did before. We're at 275 watts as it's heating up. And it is what it is, but I've got it hooked up on the AC with the Blue Eddy. And we are firing up right now. Got our unit here, got our muffler off the side, got it elevated a little bit, and then have it coming in here to the Roof Nest HVAC input ducts that are here. Let's get it fired up and see how it goes. One thing to note, I don't know if this is from all the sloshing around with the diesel as we put around, but we do have a little bit of smoke in. I think this will stabilize in a minute, but yeah, as it heats up, it's got a little bit of smoke coming out. Okay, all of the smoke is stabilized at this point in time. The unit is up and going. We are now down to 28 degrees. And the glow plug has since went away, and we are just in regular motion. So I'm going to put this up into the tent, up through the window, and go ahead and let the tent start heating up. All right, we are inside the tent. It is toasty. I mean, I'm in short sleeve shirts. We look here, it says it's all the way at the bottom. It is 61, 62 degrees and rising. I've actually put this down all the way on the 1.4, just all the way at the bottom. And if we just quickly take a look and hit this with a zap, there's about 160 coming out of the vents, I guess, if I get all the way down in there deep. Still a good bit of air coming in. I tell you what, it's going to get down to about 19. It was 26 actually when I came in. And it's super toasty. We're up to 63 now in here. Got to make sure I control this a little bit, or otherwise it'll shoot in the mid-70s and start getting really hot in here. But I mean, I just use a quilt, nothing major, no heavy sleeping bags or anything. And yeah, that's the diesel heater. So far this LF Bros N2 Pro is working perfectly as planned. We had a slight bit of smoke right out of the gate. Not inside, but just on the exhaust. I think that was from sloshing around. I mean, I am deep in the woods, and it didn't leak, but I mean, we were bouncing all over the place. Now, one thing I do want to note is I do keep a carbon monoxide detector in here, just in case. I mean, it's on 0 right now, but you know, you never know. When you have these diesel heaters, I highly recommend that. It's now 72.7 degrees in here. I'm probably going to have to let a window down just a little bit. Everything's going good. We have put it down to and I'm in a t-shirt and socks are off. It is getting hot in here. We're all the way down at the 1.4 watching the Georgia Tech game. Thank you, Elon Musk and Starlink. If we look here, you can see this thing cycling from 0 to 18 watts. So it's running anywhere from what I've been seeing, 18 to 21 watts. And there is no ticking, no noise. The only noise I can actually hear is the creak in the background. So far so good. Let's see how the night goes. It's still early. It's only 8:30. Got a long way to go. That was a good night's sleep. Wow, it got really cold last night. I tell you what, it got super hot in here. It got up to about mid-80s at one point in time. I've got it down to about 61 now, but I had to actually crack open the window a little bit And right down there's the vent. I got a little fan blowing the stuff around. Got the skylight right now actually showing. It's just so nice out right now. But the sun's coming up. Woo, that was a cold night outside. Got down to 20 was as low as we got. But I was toasty warm. At one point it got up to 85 degrees up in the tent. This was putting out so much heat. I did put it on low for the night and I ended up cracking a window and it worked just great. Got it down, I'd say about 62 degrees is where I was sitting at. I am freezing out here right now. It's about 25, sun's coming up, you can see it hitting my face. But this worked great, it kept me warm. I was watching my Georgia Bulldogs beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets last night on Starlink in 8 overtimes. That was a little bit crazy. But the only things that I noticed when I was out camping is we did use about 437 watt hours with this off my battery. So it used about 38% of my 1152 watt hours that I had. It had a little bit of smoking when we started up, but a lot of diesel heaters do that, and then it went away. And it had no ticking, no noise whatsoever. Now there's a river in the background going, but the only thing I ever did notice, if I put my hand on there, you can actually feel the pumping goes through. But again, this is 600 bucks. I would expect this to do everything that I wanted it to do. I did like having the controller up in the rooftop tent. Since this doesn't have an app, that was one thing I did like. The other thing I didn't like is this hose is not long enough. I actually wanted to put this down on the ground last night and it just wasn't long enough, so I propped it up and put it on the tailgate. I think I'm gonna get a little bit longer hose so that it goes in there. But this was my first test with a diesel heater with the Roof Nest Condor Overland 2, and it worked. It worked really, really well. I was really impressed with how well everything went. The other things, when you have diesel heaters hooked up into a roof top tent, be aware the air is going to be super dry. Your mouth's going to get dry in the middle of the night. You're going to have zero condensation on the inside of your tent, but everything's going to be dry inside. So make sure you got some liquids up there. I woke up in the middle of the night just parched. I just Very happy with this. Again, it costs 600 bucks on Amazon. You should be happy if something goes along with that. Links in the description for this, but again, this is the LF Bros N2 Pro. And very impressed with this. More trips to come with this. Again, hey, if you got any value out of this, please click that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click that bell to be notified when we got new content out. Again, I am Robert with Sherburne Outdoors. Thank you for spending time with me in the Cohutta Wilderness, even though it was cold. Everybody have a great day.